I mean, I'm flattered and all.
You're not Jenny. And we're live, man. Hello.
Hi, everybody. I'm a terrible donut. Just terrible.
Hey, what's up, you guys? Uh, so today's stream is going to be a little bit of a base tour. If looking around, if you've seen the last few, you'll see some new stuff and some changed stuff. And in the distance over there, some more factories. You might see if I can pick. I can't see from here, but I built a few more things. Just spent a lot of time off stream, um, going through things that just take a lot of time that might or might not be that interesting to see, but I thought they weren't. So here we are. One of the first things that I want to talk about before we get going is objective complete phase two. That's the main goal. Um, Unlocked a bunch of stuff in the MAM, including these priority switches, and set up several different factories. So we have elevator parts here in our priority group two. I've got a quick wire, rotor, steel, quartz and SAM, and DNA processing groups here, and then we got a couple of power stations. Fed's finished his Coastal Coal Light and Power Inc. So we're going to tour some of these things and just see what we did. But the first thing I want to do is start the elevator parts because it's going to take a little bit of time. Um, I find doing the elevator, it's better to just bring items over and dump them into containers and run them into the buildings to be manufactured if you can, especially earlier in the game. I've got summer sloops and power shards on these, so it has a pretty big jump in power just to run these three things. This one's going to take the longest. We're doing 10 per minute. We're going to need nearly 1,000, so that's going to be 100 minutes-ish. Set these up down here with all the items that we need. So it should load up and keep building, and hopefully I did the math right. Probably I didn't because I'm always terrible at doing math, even though that's like my thing. But this should finish by the end of the
It's not
stream.
like you have a doctorate in that.
No,
So
no. It's
that's
applied
good.
math.
Mm,
So, you know,
that's different from any
that's
other kind of math.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So if I were
So,
approximating it, I'd be good at it.
so you were talking about containers for space elevator parts and just building the things right there and dropping off what you need.
Yep.
That is not the long-term plan for here, though, is it?
No, so that'll be our first stop on the tour. Also, I made some friends. So these guys' names are just terrible. Draw me some names. I want to see some names. All right, where should I set up this camera? So Fed's going to introduce his grand plan for bringing space elevator parts and manufacturing for the later phases. And I'm going to just reset all that.
Yeah, we're experiencing technical difficulties there. That's exciting.
I don't want that. I don't want that. I do want that. There we go. So now I can kind of fly around and tour.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. So I colored the ground because colorfulness. Well, there really is anything that's in black. I plan to run belts through. The blue and yellow that alternates. I'm anticipating drone depots. I believe is the right word.
Drone ports.
Drone ports. There you go.
Ports.
Ports, not
I believe that's
depots.
what they're called.
That, that's my naming convention for a place that was receiving things was a depot, and the
Mm-hmm.
other one was distro. So this way I could keep my life in some semblance of order. The red one there is going to be the fuel. Each other one is going to be accepting a form of space part. This way, when we make it wherever we make it, we can just tell a drone to drop it off. And I think that looked kind of neat. There are a bunch of things just flying in and out of space elevator, and I really don't care how fast those parts get there because we're going to suffer through an hour of delivering these parts. So we could watch drones do it. Maybe be a little little more interesting.
Yep.
I do like your cages around those belts. That
But these are
I do
important.
like that.
I don't really want anybody getting at them. They need to get there.
I mean, aesthetically, it's definitely an interesting choice.
All
Not a
right.
terrible one, surprisingly.
So while I'm on the camera, I'll give the distant tour. I set up a quick wire factory, which I talked about doing in the last stream. I did that offline, made it pretty, unlocked elevators. We'll take a tour of that in a minute. We built a highway. I made some blueprints for these that made it a lot easier, and then I uploaded this onto our dedicated server, and the blueprints aren't there right now, so otherwise I'd show you that. Got a rotor factory, some steel production, and then off in the distance we'll go and visit the power plant finalized. And
Oh,
is anything else that we wanted
almost
to?
almost finalized. Um,
Mostly finalized.
well, I mean, half of it's turned off, so no, not final
Oh, well,
built,
not even
but half
close.
of it's turned off because of belt throughput
Mm,
for coal. I hit
yep.
a limit there.
Uh, well,
Yeah.
hopefully we can unlock faster belts too then, and then next time we'll have it completely done, but we can still look at it. I set up a slug and critter fryer, also with summer sloops, so you can get a bunch of stuff, which, how do I get out of that? Which gave me a ton of coupons, so almost all of the, well, what I think are the important stuff in the Awesome Shop is collected. There's still some
So
stuff. I do have some coupons. Hmm?
I was looking at point values for things
Oh yeah.
just to see what they were and try and understand that. And apparently, the equipment you can build goes for a crazy amount of points, like 500,000 for the hovering backpack
Oh yeah.
thing,
And it's not that much in terms of the
crafting
actual crafting
materials.
materials. It's just you got to do it manually. I mean, you could sit there with the space bar and you just tap the space bar and keep building as many of them as you can, and then you can throw them in.
Or,
But
I mean, if you have things in depots, just tap space bar and let it cook, and
yeah, you can get quite a few of them.
go make a sandwich.
Yep. So I have
Uh,
17 coupons right now. And none of these things are super exciting to me. I like the lighting control panel, mostly because you can do the thing where it's solar power or like daytime aware and will only come on at night, which is kind of cool. And then the big signs are really great for just getting around. But for now, don't care so much. I did buy a couple of these little paints. I like the Caterium one and the copper one a lot, but I want to save some points for coated concrete foundation, which is my favorite once we get that unlocked. I don't remember how much it costs, and I'm too lazy to look it up, so we'll figure that out. But all of this stuff is pretty much built. I feel like conveyor walls aren't really that useful now that we got the conveyor hole. So I didn't spend any points on that, but probably will eventually. They're nice and well spaced. And I just don't want to get a coffee cup yet. So
I'm
there's not much left in there other than maybe some flare. Hello, Max. Say hi.
You know how important flair is to the game.
Yeah, yeah. We're gonna have some soundtrack and some statues. Maybe by the end of this, we'll be able to even get a golden nut.
I mean, that would
So
be a
yeah,
little
not too
silly.
much left. I think we're pretty close to closing out the main stuff. Um, so that's one of our goals, but I also have it set up. I have some things automatically running in here, so we can do quite a bit. I've got the SAM, the reconstituted SAM running in, and the rotors, which are kind of the highest point value, easy to produce things that I've got right now. So we're doing that just to get some stuff, and because I moved onto the server, if you're running a server, I mean, this is basically the main reason for me to do it. You can AFK without actually being logged in. This got this auto pause feature. You can turn it off and just run your server forever. So it's just, cranking up coupons as we go and as we play. So, and as we don't play, which is even more better.
I do like a little bit of AFK stuff, especially if I don't have to spend processor power on it. I do appreciate that.
Yeah. Well, I'm spending a little bit, but it's on the server, not my main PC, so it's a little better. What has happened
Well, I
to
mean,
my sign?
I did not graffiti anything. I'm sticking to that story and statement.
I'm gonna have to edit this. I think when I added the B4 thing, so I recategorized these codes. I don't even know if I showed you this fit.
I don't believe so.
I'm gonna take out the quotes because yeah, I want it to fit. All right, so I categorized these into building codes, power codes, and transportation codes. And these four I think were there. Maybe this fifth one. Yeah, the first five here. So now these are B1 through 5. Added B6. Ceilings should have a 4-meter clearance above the factory buildings. So you should have at least 4 meters above that you can walk around in. So it's a similar requirement to the B1, but just for ceilings inside of factories. Every factory area that we're building, I want to put a priority switch on to isolate it from the rest of the grid. This is really useful if we run out of power later because you can see which ones switch off. You can set things that aren't very important to switch off first so that things that are more important will keep running. And I don't want to run cables through walls, so I put one for using the through connectors, the two-sided connectors to go into the buildings because I like that a lot. So that's these, and you have to unlock those in the the awesome shop. I'm making one exception there. Sometimes it's just weird to do it. Uh, if you put the nub connector on the floor below, you can't get a double-sided connector through the floor. So I will put a power pole on top of that so that the cable that's connecting them is invisible and runs through the floor. Even though it's clipping, it's not visible. It still uses a slot on the connector, but it looks good. So I'm going to allow that from a floor to a
You're going to allow what you want to allow. That's
yeah.
that's what I heard
This,
there. Mm-hmm.
well, I mean that's what this is about. I'm going to allow it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then I only have one transportation thing. The hypertubes need to be on the main power grid, not on a priority, because if something were to break somewhere, you want to be able to get there. So basically hypertubes, and probably we'll add things like trains and all of that later. But this will be so we can get around without having big chunks of the grid shut down. So that's what I got so
I
far.
do
Got room for
I do
more.
like when things don't shut down.
Yeah,
That is I consider that a net positive,
yeah.
believe it or not.
When things don't shut down.
Yes.
Hmm. All right.
It's a weird quirk I have.
I also changed the wall. So
Well,
get a
that
different
I
wall.
cried about. I was
You don't
upset
like
about
this wall?
that. Change is scary.
Yeah.
I
So did I tell you
yeah.
about this one? If you hold control, you can replace walls with other walls.
Well, other things with other things.
It's a lot of things. You can do splitters as well, splitters and mergers depending on the situation. So if you've got a splitter you want to turn into a priority splitter or whatever they're called, what is it, a smart
Mm.
splitter or merger to a priority merger now in 1.1, you can do that holding control. It's really kind of awesome.
Yeah,
So,
that's come in handy a few
oh yeah,
times.
and I discovered it by accident. What I was hoping to do is actually place a wall in front of a wall like this. I can probably do it now that I got the vertical nudge. Um, so I wanted to do something that looked like this. And I was just thinking, well, how can I do that? So I held control and then discovered that thing a while back. Some people know about it, but I thought it was really cool when I found it. So we got factories. What do you want to tour first?
I mean, I'm excited for my coal plant, but I'm a little biased on that.
Yeah, you're
Not
also
much, just a little bit.
it's on the other end of the map. So
Yeah, yeah.
I was thinking
That's
starting at the DNA processing since I'm over here.
that is simple, and I think that's almost a must build, um,
Oh yeah.
for
Oh hey,
doing things here.
our automated wiring is done.
Yeah, well, look at
So
that. I
yeah,
mean, it was 100 things.
yeah, there weren't very many of them. I like having these set up. So using summer sloops you can quadruple the DNA canisters. So I've been saving these up, or we've been saving these up with the intent to do this. And now that we got summer sloop stuff unlocked, we get quadruple the DNA, which is more coupons, which is where a lot of the coupons came from. and then more power shards, which I think are mostly going into the depot at this point. But yeah, we've got, that would be 308.
I'll believe you on that math.
Yeah, because
Even
we're
though I
currently
shouldn't.
opened up to 3 stacks. So there's 300 here and 8 waiting in that, unless you have some on you, and plus the ones that we've had in that are in the buildings in here.
Um,
So all you got to do,
what?
drop a slug in. We'll go in. So he comes up through here. Chase him. Where'd he go? Okay, he's going. And so set up. So first off, the priority merger is the first thing I put in here, and I'll explain why. But each one of these smart splitters will split off your slugs, send those slugs into a fully power sharded and slooped constructor, which will give you 2 shards for each slug, or 4 shards for each yellow slug, or what? I went the wrong way. Or 10 power shards for a purple slug, which is pretty freaking nice. And then if you just happen to have a ton of slugs, and I doubt we'll ever get to this point, but I just kind of got in the habit of building these. I like this kind of wrapping manifold. I don't know what you would call it, but you can send items back to the beginning. And with the priority merger, I put that input as a slightly higher priority. So if I were to put some items in there, it would take the ones that I put in first and keep cycling them before it added new things in. So if you've got some, and this is really, this will work for any manifold system that you got. I really like doing this. It's more efficient if you're delivering items into the manifold, but occasionally you get overloaded, then it'll just reuse the items that have currently been supplied, stop everything else. And then if it only needs a few items, then it'll only pull those in. I think it's a little more efficient. It gets everything spread out a little more. On the other side, it's the same situation set up over here, but I've got 3 constructors set up with sloops for DNA capsules, because you can generate quite a few of them. And then I have a similar setup down here for, where are we? Same kind of manifold system for getting in the remains, except I did 2 ways, so you can split them off. And the overflow goes back through there, same thing. And then we run them in here. I put a kind of a buffer in here so that these would not stop producing protein if the 3 constructors at the top got overflowed, but again, that would require a whole lot of stuff to actually make that happen. Yeah, that's, and lighting. I got lighting. You like my lighting?
The lighting's not bad. I mean, also I like the sky a little bit better, but it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's
Well, when it's nighttime, it's annoying. You can't get around.
Mm-hmm.
I also started using these metal grip floors because they look really nice.
And you did something similar for the remnants, or the remains, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Creatures.
Yeah, I should that.
Okay, good, because I was only half paying. No, I'm not paying attention to you.
As expected.
It's better for my mental health if I
Okay,
can just tune you out sometimes.
I can buy that.
So I did make it over here to this little lake with the coal.
Ah.
And I'm going to start planning out a weapons plant.
I put a marker down. There's another thing I did is...
Down? There's no marker here. I don't believe you.
I said you should put a marker down.
Oh, I should put a marker down. Yeah, I got to do things. Like figure out why that tractor's in the middle of the map. Just saying.
It's a lie.
As long as it's a lie.
I think it's a lie. I have no idea. They just got randomly moved to the middle of the map. I was telling you about this, and then they moved back. So I don't know. I think if we go up to your power plant, then they'll get corrected. I have no idea. I don't know. Bugs. I don't know if that's a 1.1 bug or existing bug. I've seen tractors just vanish all the time, so it's one reason I don't use them that much is they kind of are buggy. I had some fall through the floor. For a little while I was having to crash the dedicated server It's just like I'd build one and then everything would go weird. Couldn't build anything. But they are fun.
They do need a few more icons here. I don't.
I know. I also wish you could label the basic icons. Right? So like the
You mean like I kind of just did? Like I took the exclamation point because that's the best thing I could find. So
oh,
yeah,
you're talking about
down
building it
there.
down here. Okay.
I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's sulfur nearby, and
Yeah, you got copper and iron and concrete
mhm.
over there too. So yeah, and you got coal, so you
I
can do
think that
steel. You can do pretty much all the stuff. This is a pretty decent location. I think there's also nitrogen over here. I don't know if you need that.
no,
And then
I don't think so. But yeah, this I did like this area. I did my first steel plant here, and I was very happy with it.
yeah,
I think I'm gonna have a problem about getting oil in to the area,
yeah,
which
trains.
your mom suggested that as well, but I thought she was talking about
Uh,
something else. Um, but yeah,
she does like
that,
a
and
good
that's
train.
well, I mean, who doesn't? They're fun, but yeah, that's packaging the oil and getting it sent over to make the smokeless powder is it's gonna be an endeavor. 'Cause that is not my strong suit in the slightest.
I don't think it's anyone's strong suit. Trains are. That's one of the things I see people asking the most questions about. So we'll probably spend a little bit of a time on trains. I'd love to do kind of a deep dive video for trains.
So the basic signaling where it waits till the track's clear before it moves ahead. I
Yeah.
understand that, and that's fine. That was good. I liked that, but I didn't dabble in the other signals yet, which seem more complicated.
Yeah, they are and they aren't. They're actually, once I realized how they work, they're a lot simpler than I thought. And it just, there's not a really good explanation of how they're supposed to work or what it means to be a path. Or if there is, it didn't land for me. I didn't quite get it. I did a lot of trial and error, and finally I think I figured it out, but I can't really promise you anything. Um, but yeah, maybe we can set something up and talk about that uh, at a future date, probably next stream, because I think we'll have trains unlocked by then.
So another thing that I know I struggled with like making my first and only successful train thing. It looked abysmal. So coming up with how to do that because I started in the desert on that in that world, and I'm like, oh, it would be easy to do a train here, and then it just wasn't. That was not
Yeah,
enjoyable.
I I find that blueprints are really the best way to go for trains, and the connecting blueprints make it a lot easier. Hello, bird. Um, Goodbye, bird. They make it a lot easier to build them, but they don't always look good. Um, when you
Well,
Where's my
that's
scroll? My scroll is not. I'm gonna get killed because my mouse is not scrolling correctly. All right,
there
save
is
thing.
there is still that bug of getting stuck on a build mode and not being able to hit the button to change it.
I don't think that's what's happening. I've got one thing selected. It might be my flippin' mouse. But it seems to be skipping around.
I mean, to be fair, if I was your mouse, I wouldn't listen to you either.
It might just be a graphic lag thing since the last patch while streaming. I haven't noticed it while playing, but I haven't really tried to scroll through these things. Right, yeah, they ran away. Better run away now that I got my weapon under control. So,
Yes,
yeah.
you are a big threat.
hmm not too
So
much to talk about with the Quickwire Factory. I just put some supports and tried to do some fun little detailing. I spent way too long on it. Oh, there you are. Come here. Come here and donate supplies to the coupon fund. Thank you.
invalid aim location. That's a new one. Oh, and
Oh,
now I hit escape and there's still a floating block. It's solid blue
I missed one.
that I can't delete. That's weird.
Oh, that is weird. And
Yeah, because I can't interact with that. I can't middle click it, so it's not there, but I physically can stand on it. So it's there?
that's strange.
And it's a floating panel at the moment, but it's shaking like there's an earthquake. It's good. It's, it's interesting. And then it just vanished. All right. That's normal.
Intended game design? Maybe?
Maybe I just can't build here. Like, oh, now there's an invisible block.
Seems
All
a lot like
right.
some of the weird Minecraft server glitches I've seen.
Yeah, but those reconnected relatively quickly and corrected themselves.
Yeah.
This is
I wonder how much of that is just normally playing on this. We're not also streaming, so maybe bandwidth related on my end, like uploading and you're not able to send as much. I don't know. Oh, another thing that isn't working right now on the server is selecting branch paths on the hypertubes. I've seen some other people on the QA site talking about that. So, oh, Fed has left the game. Wonder if
yep,
Fed
I
has
was
left
gonna
the Discord. Nope.
no, I haven't listened to Discord. I just figured I would attempt to maybe if it unloads that chunk as it
Who knows?
to use a Minecraft term, because you never know. It'd be nice if I could. Yeah, hey, that worked. Now
Oh,
I got things here.
yeah, so
Well, there you
it
go.
was a you problem.
Yeah, no, that's rare. It's bound to happen at least once. So
So this is my fancy rotor factory. I just it's not really that fancy, but
well, I
I
mean,
set up these.
these are the super complicated factories that we're building right here. This is the time for it.
So right now I'm limited by belt speed to get all these in, so I set it up as two manifold. Get the Mark IV belts, so I can come in and reduce this and just do one line and combine everything there. But for now, that's the only way I could get the items. I also did a bus running items into these that splits two ways. So all of these are taking in for rotors. So I just got rods and screws. I've got the alternate recipe for these, so I could change it up, but since I already got it set up, I'll just leave it at that. But I'm running all of the iron ingots up top, the two paths of constructors for rods and screws. And I don't even have anything power sharded, so it's a lot more buildings, but it's a lot less energy requirement. I was planning on putting an elevator here. Haven't got around to doing that yet. But it'll show up eventually.
Yeah, I mean that's one other thing. Like going back and upgrading your belt so your things move a little faster. Like I haven't done that, and anytime I can just build it and I've forgotten about it and left it.
Yeah,
So
usually in the games that I've played through, I usually wind up just destroying the starter base and rebuilding it because you build so much with the Mark One miners, and then you can double or quadruple the amount of item output. It's just hard to scale that. on the same factory. You can't just upgrade a factory that easily, so I usually just flatten it and then start over. And, be a little more effective, more efficient. And you got better materials, better belts. Got cased beams over here. I'm running at a lower clock speed because I don't have enough concrete, although these are all backed up because it's been running while I'm not online, so everything is filled up. Got the beams, got lots of concrete. I did somehow unlock the wet concrete recipe, which I don't think you're supposed to be able to get until you had the
We don't
refineries.
have a refinery, yeah.
So once we get the refinery, we'll be able to use the wet concrete. Where the heck did I put those?
Just jumping back a little bit, your burn it to the ground philosophy. I'm kind of surprised to hear that from you.
Gentrification.
Well, I didn't think you were a big fan of like the plans of was it William T. Sherman? So I'm kind of surprised. That's it's a real precise joke there, I know, but I
All right.
thought you of all people would not be a fan.
Well, we're overlooking your coal plant now.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
now let's see, did
coal.
that fixed the tractors? I was right. Okay.
All right.
I don't know why it doesn't know
Let's
that.
see. I left the lights on my tractors. The batteries are gonna go dead. That's unfortunate.
All right. You want to talk about it?
I mean, not really. It was a scary time, but you yelled at me a lot, and there was a little bit of trauma. But we're taking coal. We're putting it in a box.
I emphatically encouraged you.
Oh, I did. I was happy with how it turned out. I was the blue pipes, the little yellow accents in there. The way the pipes look, I was quite happy with. Feels like mother of a thousand plant, where everything kind of just shoots off at known intervals. And doing the manifold system where we got 2 points that coal pours in. So that's You could see we're right here. We're not moving fast enough to keep everything super well stocked. But
like these guys are running low. But
they're running low, but they're solid, I believe. If you go into them.
Yeah, I can't.
Or you're in view
mode.
View,
but yeah.
Gotcha. But I believe they're holding steady. This was another tricky thing to get
can't go
get water in there.
At least I can see it, but I can't. The camera won't go further.
Well, that's fine. If you go off to the side there where you were, when you first came out over the sea,
I can rotate.
There's that path to the right of you, right here. I ended up having the nature there with a big pillar inside where I had planned out some buildings, but that turned out quite well considering with the Mark I pipes I had some throughput issues. So couldn't deliver water fast enough with just 2 inputs. So then I came up with this little loop system. I believe you and I talked about it.
I like your solution here. Yeah, wrapping it around, and so even though each end is giving you 300, you're delivering 600 to the full system. And if one of them slows down, the other one gets it from the other side. It works.
Yeah, and it doesn't look bad either. Like here's the other end. There's the extend end of the loop. The other pipes go below where you are and out to the sea. There's 2 that come in for each set. So really, I have 3 pumps per 8 coal plants here to power each of the 4 loops to keep them all hydrated. I also just said I want Duracell batteries and plop, 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 plop.
I like your daisy chaining here, but connecting them all to that. Yeah.
It was a very simple daisy chaining. I mean, I am going to send some notes and some tips on how I did this to the guys at Schneider Electric for their APC line of products.
Now you're a minor
battery backups for IT closets. I like those. See, my daisy chain works and the cable's real good. They give you just enough cable. It works. It just, I don't know. Very, very good product. I do like them.
And I see you dabbled into some
Some decorative stuff.
decorating.
I'm really, really bad at it. Just really bad. Didn't know what to do. I'm like, okay, well, there's a tractor depot here. I don't know. You know, I'm more of a functionality guy, so this is just really bad. The hypertube
That's
could probably be moved inside of the
okay,
building,
good,
though.
good. And you got your
Yeah, so you can just go up, look over, and tell the
keep
peons to get back to work
keep
and
the
the
prisoners
coal
in line.
plants. It kind of feels that way, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, it's definitely got a prison yard feel here.
I mean, I was kind of the mindset of, I'm doing my part and I'm fighting the bugs on this planet
I
because
guess I
that's
tossed my
important.
inhaler in the air.
Well, you just didn't care. That's good. And look at
Oh,
that
I'm looking at
that
myself.
that landing strip and airport runway behind you. That is a
Yes,
lot of up.
there's a lot of up there.
A whole lot of up. That's a good transition to your roads that you did.
Yep. So you saw the highway. It was my
Yeah, but you
highway.
you did blueprints for this, right?
Yeah. So I made some blueprints for different segments. The inclines. I really wish that the road barriers would map to inclines, like the railings, the architectural railings, but the road barriers just stay flat. Because I like these, and I may change over to these because these are too short, and or my driving is not good, or some combination of the two.
I mean,
I'm not going into anything else you can infer from there. I didn't do the pattern. I forgot to put the pattern on the inclines. So let me
look at you. You forgot to
the
put the pattern
lanes.
on the inclines.
I hate it when I forget to put the pattern on the inclines.
It's not often you forget to put the pattern on the inclines. Yeah, I don't know why you did it. I said something, you didn't listen, and
I didn't know
just
what you
kind
were
of moved
talking
on.
about, and I just ignored you because
Yeah. That's how that happens.
yeah. Um,
Well, you want ants? That's how you get ants. Can't have nice things.
okay, there we go. Why didn't you tell me about that?
Because I told you about that. So
Okay, let's see if I
probably
can
did that
navigate
thing
the
where you just don't listen.
what?
Which is good. It gets me out of as much trouble as it gets me into.
Oh, we're nearly done with the versatile framework. It's getting there. 942. Is that not going up? Nope, it went up. Good, good, good. What about my smart plating? I feel like that one's going to take a while. Could
All right,
reassign
so
those the buildings to do those.
I'm at a loss here. How in the heck do you actually control splitting items again? I just tried a bunch of different button combinations.
Hold down right click while you're on an item, and it'll bring up the
Yeah,
split stack menu.
that is just, I don't feel that's
So
intuitive.
it's down here. It's a split stack right mouse button, but it doesn't tell you that you
Oh,
can hold
yeah.
it down to get this. It just tells you to split stack. And I was doing it like half and half and half and half for a long, long time. And then I saw somebody doing this on a video, and I'm like, wait, what is that? And then figured someone else on a Reddit thread posted about how you can do it. It's in the tips and tricks 2 video script somewhere that I'm working on. So yeah, this stuff is just too hard to find in this game. It's my only real complaint about the game is discoverability is a little bit tough at times.
Yeah, there's plenty of times where I feel tutorials are insulting to the player, and not necessarily this game, just in general. Like sometimes, okay, yes, I use WASD to move, right? Useful for somebody playing for the first time, I understand,
Right.
but some things it's worth going into. Like
Yeah,
if
I mean,
the
make the tutorial skippable if you're gonna put it in. But
right, but like no one talks about, hey, to be more efficient, try using copy and paste to apply settings to multiple machines.
hmm yeah,
I mean, I
they
guess there's no
they've got a lot.
story.
Right. They've got a lot of really great features. As you learn all these things and all these tips, you can really just plow through some building stuff, but they don't really make it as discoverable. And I talked about this in a video. Um, uh, I think one thing
Wait,
you could do,
you do videos?
yeah, I do videos. I talked about this in a video.
Oh,
This is my advertise my other videos video. But I talked about like ways you could do this by actually having unlockable like build modes and zoop and um, the nudge, multiple nudge, infinite nudge, vertical nudge. They're just free. You just get them, but because there's so much for free, it's kind of overwhelming. It's like being dropped into something like Photoshop or Blender, and you've never used it before, and you don't even really know what to look up because you don't know what's possible. So you just need to start with a tutorial. And if you have to go to external tutorial for a video game, then you might as well have it in the video game, right? It's going to be right there where you need it. So
I guess.
I don't know.
Seems kind of fishy.
But I mean, I could imagine. Oh, hard drive scan. I could imagine. I think I'm down to the
Uh,
crappy
the,
stuff.
there is a hard drive I dropped in the
Oh,
dimensional location there.
right. Yeah, I could imagine another MAM category where you have build modes researchable.
Yeah, I mean that doesn't sound terrible. I mean,
I
to
think
to
there's
get a
some.
crash course on
There was an
things.
infinite nudge, vertical nudge mod in 1.0, and that's how apparently they did. I never played it. I've not messed with mods, but I was talking to people, and that's basically what they did. You had to unlock them, and I think that's useful. Like dismantling crash sites is the other one that I talked about in there, where like you can just do that. And when we started on this world, we just like skipped most of the hub, the first stages of the hub, which kind of defeats the purpose of having a beginner's guide video, right? Or beginner's guide series.
Yeah, I don't know if we just got lucky as
We
to
did.
what was there. So
We got enough parts that we could just kind of breeze through the first bits of the hub, and it got us ahead. But not everybody's gonna find one. If you're new to the game and you haven't played it at all, you're not gonna know to look. And so, that's something you'll encounter later, and probably by the time you get there, it won't be so OP. Like I can believe that. But on the second playthrough, you can jump through real quick, and that's probably okay too.
yeah, I think to be fair, we did think that we got it from dismantling. So that's when we were first dismantling things.
We did.
So well no, I think we picked them up from scattered around.
Yeah, you can get.
So we
I
hit
think motors might be the highest level item in there that you can dismantle, but you can get. I think it was motors, but
hmm,
I don't know if those were laying. Okay, go back. It's on video. It's on there. It's on the record, man.
I mean, yeah, we don't even go back and watch our stuff. It's terrible. It's
Yeah.
terrible.
I mean, nobody else
Um,
is watching our stuff, so why should we?
I mean that's a fair point. Um, you know, I mean there's a handful of you, which is appreciated. You know,
Yeah. Look,
no one says anything in
right.
chat, but that's fine.
Yeah.
You know,
I think we're getting more views after the fact than
yeah.
on the live
Which
stream.
I mean, in that case, comment below about God anything,
Yeah, if you watch
and
this thing,
tell us why we suck. Nicely, but
I don't even care if it's nicely.
some input to have an idea of where to go, I guess, is helpful.
Yeah, because I mean, if people are wanting to watch something, what do they want to watch? I'll make whatever. Made it through the
Can't say
tour a
that
lot
thing.
faster. What?
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 I wasn't being inappropriate. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to get one of
So,
those bleep buttons, aren't I?
I mean, it wouldn't hurt. I mean, as sensitive as YouTube is anymore, yeah. They critique some silly stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I'm going to reassign these because this is just going too slow. It's not even halfway done and the others are already done. And then, so you should be okay for a little bit. We're going to build a little bit of a, what's its, can't think of the name of this right now. Not a manifold, but bus. I'm gonna build a bus. Not a school bus, but a bus. Sort of.
Okay.
I think actually I'm probably just gonna do splitters on these and run the pipes around. Yeah, because that's not gonna work. So we'll be able to go in the first one. I could just move these, rewire the whole thing, or I could just dump a bunch of items. I mean, just dump a bunch of items for now. Get these building something.
Yeah, you could probably just dump a bunch of items.
I could dump a bunch of items.
Yeah.
I have a bunch
I'm
of
just trying to be
items. I could
helpful,
dump them.
You probably could get away with that, yeah.
So I'll just
I don't know.
rebuild this and impromptu lesson on how to build a bus. So manifold delivers parts on a single line and just tries to drop them off whenever it can. And a bus is basically just stacked manifold. That's at least my interpretation of it. So it delivers multiple items. And so to do that, you need a little bit of extra space. You can do this on a manufacturer with 4 of these, but you need to go up 2 slots to make it look nice. I don't know if you can get by with it on 1. I've never done it because I've always wanted to make it look nice, so just take it up twice. And then have these kind of facing like that. 1, 2, go. So what I'm going to do is just add splitters onto each of these. For these, I'm going to come in from the side, or from the front, I guess, because that's where my items are. And then for the others, I'm going to come in from the side so that I can just run these on. And then it's just, see, stacked manifolds from here on. Maybe there's a better definition of a bus and I don't understand it, so someone correct me if I'm wrong.
I believe it's a larger vehicle that's carrying more people around, opposed to a car which carries less.
Sure. I think that's a different kind of bus fit.
Oh, you mean like a bus fuse then?
I don't know. You mean a busted fuse? Or am I missing something?
No, I thought bus was type of fuse.
Very well could be.
I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
I know so much about fuses. Uh-oh, I think I'm gonna have to cut down a plant.
I think bus is a brand of fuses.
Oh, okay. I don't have fuses.
I guess we learned something today.
I learned something today. I can go home now.
It,
Stream over. I've learned.
so,
all right, is this working now? Yes. All right, so now I'm delivering the items up and over. That's a nice little stacked manifold to deliver everything in. So we're getting enough items, so we'll be speeding this up so it won't take quite as long. So we'll get to launch this and then maybe do some
stuff.
more upgrades and spend some coupons. And you said you had a hard drive in here, so let's throw this guy in there. I really wish you could cancel them once you start, but oh well. Also look at the map. Explored a lot. A whole heck of a lot.
Yeah, but yet I don't feel like we did. Because there's
still a ton left, right?
credit to the designer of the map. It is very intricate,
It is.
like
And it
very
forces you
detailed.
to play the game, right? Like there's room for
Yeah,
pretty much
it
everything
does.
in the game. The only things, honestly, I've never really built are the jump pads. I never really built jump pads.
Yeah, I did one, played with it, and the launch and the landing thingy, but
But I could see how you could use them at the time that you get them to get to things. Um, you know, could help you with the
let's say I
vertical.
wouldn't have
Oh,
thought about that. I would have thought
paint.
I don't want to climb down this ladder. I'm just going to fall off onto the green gooey thing.
Yeah, the green gooey things, it's nice.
Um,
Um, our friend Batman, we have a friend whose
Batman.
tag is Batman on Steam. So go look up Batman. Um, he was logged into the server. I was playing with him, and he was on, I think, one of these towers or something. He had logged off on one, and I wanted to move it. So he was just sitting up there, floating as logged off. So I built the little goo thing underneath him. So if he did log in, he wouldn't die or take damage.
It's funny you never did that for me.
No, I find it more entertaining for you to fall and take damage.
Yeah, and this is how you build what's almost considered generational trauma here, folks. Met this guy playing World of Warcraft, and him letting me die then should have been a red flag.
I didn't let
You
you
have to
die.
be able
You
to
earned
trust your
that.
heal. You have to be able to trust your healers, guys. And if you can't, red flag. Just saying. Shouldn't be letting tanks die.
You have an interesting
Um,
definition of the word let.
um, yeah. I stand by my words. We did talk about something the other night that was a good point. That because I'm finding a random piece of sulfur I mentioned. Um, Once you have the dimensional depot, like while I don't, we said we don't want to condone dumping coal into the dimensional depot. It might be worth leaving a little bit of raw minerals in there,
Yeah,
as I found a. Go ahead.
I I don't like to automate things, and like there's Caterium ore here. I assume you put that in because I know I didn't. But I don't like to
Yeah, I
automate those
probably
things
did.
into the depot. But I don't mind dropping them in. Like this little storage thing here is kind of useless once you have the depot. I can just, drop all these in, and then they're there. And even if they're just there and you never use them, that's not terrible, right? I'm not doing anything else with them, so I might as well put them in there. They'll get consumed eventually when you're building, if you need to build things at the crafting bench. Um, so I think it's worth putting them in, but I wouldn't recommend like blowing a Mercer sphere on a building that just loads in iron ore. Right, that just feels like a waste of a Mercer sphere to me. But
Or even uranium, even something more endgame and higher.
yeah,
It's not
I don't wouldn't
it's
do
not that
that.
helpful.
No.
But it is nice. Like I ran across a drop pod and I needed two, literally two black powder. I'm like, oh cool. I only had coal on me, and I deleted sulfur earlier. Like should have dumped it in the
Yeah,
container instead of getting rid of it, which is
that
why there's some of that stuff in there now.
right. So that's sort of like, you could destroy it. You can just drop it in a little trash chute. But if you do that, then it's gone. And if you put it into the dimensional depot, well, okay, it's still not in your inventory, but it's not gone. If you need it, you can pull it out later. And if you never need it, then it wasn't really that big of a deal, right? So,
Yeah, like I just had silica sitting in my loading bar capped up, which actually adds 5 more inventory space if you finagle this game the right way.
oh yeah, because these
Um,
slots count. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So, that's that there's a minor advantage there, but
Also,
I figure dump it in there before I delete it. And
if you
then,
dump in the good stuff, if you're like out exploring for Mercer spheres or whatever, dump them in, dump in all the remains, all the slugs that you get, all the collectibles, basically, because they're not enough to even fill it up. Like there's almost 300 Mercer spheres in the game, and they stack at 50, I think. And so you could have basically once it's fully upgraded, 5 stacks of Mercer spheres. And probably you've spent some, by the point that you're getting that many Mercer spheres, you've spent some on upgrades, so you probably don't have that last stack anyway. So you could hold every Mercer sphere in there that you have at the end of the game, and it's no problem. And then if you die, you don't have to go back and get your crate. Unless you just want to.
yeah, I did experiment with moving the hub around to come closer to my respawn point after dying a few times, but yeah, yeah, that was not a good time. It was not enjoyable.
It's like zerging. Who was it? The boss that we would zerg in Burning Crusade? There was one of the dungeon bosses.
We zerged him?
Yeah, you could die and come back. I don't know if we were zerging the boss or if it was like a mini boss kind of thing or just a shitty pack. We just kept running in and you could get back into the fight while it was going on.
I mean, Shattered Halls is coming to mind, but I don't know. I don't think that's
I don't
correct.
think it was Shattered Halls. No, it was it was where Murmur is.
Oh, in the Shadow whatever there,
Yellow Power Slug.
probably across from Shadow Labs, maybe Crypts or something.
Yeah, there was something you could get back into. And I just remember running back over and over and over again, fighting something.
Yeah, yeah, we weren't the greatest then. There was
We were never the
It
greatest,
was rough.
but we were always the best.
I mean, I think we were pretty awesome. We were the most entertaining casual raid group. That was for sure. Like, there's plenty of people that, you know, not top on the server at all, but the people from the top groups did come raid with us and enjoyed themselves. So, I'll take that as a win.
Ooh, brand items.
Why'd you do that?
No, I think it's a good thing. That means, yeah, we're just backed up. So this has got, let's see, stupid menu. So we've got another 200 coming out of this guy. There's 46 stacked here. What the heck? Oh, I see the problem.
A
I made too
mirror?
many. Nah. So we got
Oh,
versatile
surprised.
framework. I'm gonna have to yank these and rebuild them. Oh, I'm in default. Straight.
You might want to yank those and rebuild that. I could sense a disturbance in the factory force.
The factory force.
Sure, I don't know. I'd never claimed to be a wise man.
If I claim to be a wise man, it truly means that I don't know. There we go. Now that number's going up. That was the problem. I didn't think about that. I somehow thought that I could perfectly load these.
And what did we learn?
I can't do that. And I'm dumping this in the sink. I don't see any reason to hold on to these, even if they're useful later. All right, so now let's get a better picture of what this is looking like. So these are done. The MAM research is complete. So yeah, we need 150 roughly. And we've got almost 200 coming out of this one, 200 coming out of that one. We got more than we need.
Well, As long as you're still bad at math, that's fine with me.
Well, we had a few in there before because that's the
Yeah.
overlap item, the smart plating.
Sure.
So you need those, and we
Okay.
had some in there, so I wasn't even counting those. I didn't subtract them out.
So you counted to make sure we got the right number, but didn't count those.
Yeah, I just put
Okay,
1,000 in.
I'm just following the logic here. How long
I
have
do
you
what I
worked for
want.
the government for?
I do what I want, man.
So that's the government employee. Anyway,
I don't work for the government.
I mean, I kind of do, but
Yeah, you
not
work for the
really.
government more than I do.
That's true.
I work for a
That's,
private enterprise.
yeah. So, I mean, I can say K-12 education. I can say that without a problem, which can lead me into learning things like, hey, did you know if you put graphite from a pencil into a USB-C port or a USB port, it starts a fire?
Well, I'd just like to share that don't worry, he's not teaching anyone.
No,
Which,
that is the latest TikTok challenge, and it is a dumb one.
oh,
So, yeah, I believe the district that I'm in is up to about 20 Chromebooks to that, and my former district hit 10. So it's dumb. Like, I don't know. To be the old man, if I had a Chromebook, I mean, yeah, I'd be playing games on it and getting around the internet filters, yes, but I would be destroying the damn thing. That's just senseless.
yeah, ruining perfectly good technology just doesn't seem like a good idea to me.
Yeah, I don't. I wish I understood that. Like, just what logic was behind it, if there is any. But
Or,
it's always
yeah,
interesting in
that
my
weird
world.
thing from the 90s when people started breaking guitars on stage. Maybe it was from the 80s, I don't know. Like, that always, it was like, just donate it, man. There's people who could use that. Even if it's a crap guitar, just give it to somebody else.
So you mean like didn't the Who do that?
I don't know who started it.
I'm pretty sure it was the Who, because I remember one of their vinyl albums had had a slip in it that they just handed out with the album that was a bill for them renting equipment and smashing it. Yeah, because that was cool to put in their vinyl.
Oh,
Yeah, I useless trivia. I might have some.
I agree
So
that that's not very useful.
nope, nope, won't get me a hamburger at McDonald's. That's for sure.
It won't even get you a comment on a YouTube live stream.
That's a fair point too, because yeah, look at you looking at the top chat. Yeah, there's no
Yeah,
top
there's no.
chat.
Yeah.
I gotta imagine
Uh,
the factory games. I can't imagine too many young kids playing this. I could be wrong,
no,
but
I've also thought about, like, okay, so we're streaming on YouTube because I was making YouTube videos and YouTube is where we were, right? I know people stream on Twitch. A lot of people stream on Twitch. Um, I considered moving this
twitchy
over to
people.
Twitch. Might be more discoverable. Maybe more people are looking for things like this. And really, if somebody finds it entertaining and learns anything, then I'm happy. If one person does it, because we would just be playing this game anyway. So I feel
Pretty
like we're not
much.
really wasting any time, even if this is the worst stream to ever exist. And I
Even
don't
if
think it's
we
the
are a
worst
waste
one.
of time.
We are. I mean, we are wasting all the time in the best way. Because I think we're having fun, and you can't stop me. And you can try really
No,
hard,
I
but
mean,
you're not going to make me feel bad about it.
oh, I'm gonna try and make you feel bad at some point, just because I
You,
don't like you.
you can play the Sarah McLachlan song. Uh,
See, I don't even know what that is, and I'm kind of okay
that's
with that.
the In the Arms of the Angel. The
What,
ASPCA.
what are we going to show sad puppies on screen and ask for,
Yes. Yes.
for
In the arms
uh,
of an angel.
nope, there you go. There's a copyright strike.
Oh no, I can
Hey,
cover it. I can totally cover it.
no, but so again, K-12 education, doing graduation. We played Pomp and Circumstance, and I was streaming it out to YouTube at that point. Yeah,
Yeah, but was it a copyrighted version of that song? So there's a
I,
little bit. I don't know how far
it's
it goes. Like I think
crazy.
you're probably gonna get in trouble if you like go and like take an album and replay the entire album. You're gonna get a copyright strike. I got a copyright strike on one of my shorts because I don't really know why. I was using one of those sites. It's free. I was attributing it. I had the copyright code, the license code that I got from the site when I downloaded it. And I don't know if they missed it or there was like a time window where some automatic tool came and picked it up. So I'm just not.
It is all automated. Yes.
Yeah, I'm just not gonna. I'm not.
So I've done some homework in this because during COVID, I was staying and streaming the sports games for the high school because parents weren't allowed in. So I set, volleyball, baseball, basketball, softball, uh, lacrosse, some interesting games
Those
that
are all
I'm not a
things I've heard
sports
once
guy.
before.
Yeah, I'm not a sports guy either, but I can appreciate it. Kids were trying, they did good. Volleyball was impressive how many times you can hit the ball back and forth. You know, watching people play hacky sack, I understand, but parents couldn't show up, so it was a lot of streaming out. And the music teacher who was there, he put in his all. He did good and was taking songs the kids want. He had welcome music for the kids coming out. He had, announcements by player names for the opposing schools and ours, calling out the players as they came out, and did some great stuff. But I had to mute most of it. I had been, and I had called and reached out to record labels saying, "Hey, how do I get permission from you guys to do this?" Most of them, I think 3 of the 4 were just like, "Yep, nope, we don't do that." One said, "Give me $250. Your school can play any of our songs as much as you want over your PA system, over the games, over anything." Like, that's really cool for just
Yeah.
$250, and you could use their material. But then the burden fell on the music teacher to say, "Okay, kids, well, yeah, you like that song, but you have to pick from this catalog."
Yeah.
And that became real limited. And it's just, we're not looking to
Yeah.
make a buck on it. The school didn't profit from it, but I also found out if you hum a trademarked melody, you can get a copyright strike and you can be hit for that. It's
You might be able to get hit from it on YouTube, but I think there's fair use too, and so it also depends on how much of a song that you're doing. I don't know any of these laws, um, but there are some exceptions. But the YouTube things just kind of go automated. And the one that I got even said that there wasn't any problem, like they weren't going to take the video down or anything. Right? It just was a note that, hey, you're using this copyrighted music, and
well, so from what I understand, there's an automated system that notifies. So if you wrote song A, well, somebody uses song A, you get a note. You log into YouTube, you get a notification from their um, whatever algorithm they have scanning everything, and says,
mm-hmm.
"Hey, we detected your patterns here. Here's those people. Some of the songs that went through unmuted clips or whatever, where I was discovering all of this and working. Like, some people were like, "Yep, we'll just take half the revenue stream from the video. We don't care,"
Take
which is
half of the
fine,
revenue
great,
stream.
right? Well, some people care on YouTube. As a
Yeah.
school, I couldn't take any of that money. I wasn't gonna go down that road and deal with it,
Yep. Well, I
so
mean, if
didn't
you're
care.
really just a school streaming, are you even getting?
Oh well, yeah. Some of
You're not
them
even
said, "Hey, you
monetized.
can't use it," and they said no, it needs to be removed. And YouTube auto
Huh,
banned
we
and
have a
blacked
comment.
out
We have a comment,
all of the
Fed.
audio. Right.
Hello. Thank you for asking a question. Yes, I have beat the game, and even Fed has at this point, which is
Yeah, I
miraculous.
recently have. It,
Yeah, so I started the series just to kind of go through and play through some things and share some tips and tricks, um, like how to launch Phase 2 space elevator.
I will say that I was disappointed with the ending of the game, but
I was not. I thought it was
I mean,
pretty cool.
oh, visually stunning. Liked it. Um, but I've been I want more of a story out of this. I think there's a deeper story here. I mean, anyone else let me know, but I think there's more going on than Ada lets us know. I think there's shenanigans afoot.
Well, there are like about 100 crash sites on here, so and we all look identical. So I think we're clones. I also discovered recently that the character casts no reflection in the shiny signs, so I think we're clone vampires, and we're not saving the day. It's a nefarious action.
Nefarious action. That's good. That's good. I can't make out the name there. Well, it's on the screen.
I would say puny.
Puny. So,
but
puny, have you beaten the game?
Clever spelling.
I don't know. I imagine puny's mighty enough to have beaten the game at this point. I got some faith. I don't know if that's a valid sentence, but
I guess Phase 3. Is that aluminum? Do you start to have to do aluminum in Phase 3?
Aluminum is a lot. It is.
It is.
But I will say that this is one of those games where you just walk away from it for a while. And Malt here was mentioning earlier, I don't know if it's just on the server or if it's on the standalone games, but with autoplay or auto pause, what was the
on the server,
what was the setting that I ignored you saying?
Listen to me.
But that lets the game run.
Yeah, on the server, if you're running a dedicated server, it's actually pretty easy to set up. You can do this auto pause and turn it off, and then instead of just being AFK, you're just not even in the game, right? And it will still go.
Right. So as long as you plan out your time, you could say, okay, like I came home the other night, I was tired, and I just said, okay, I got this built, and I walked away, and then it went from understocked in resources to it filled up on the overnight, and I'm like, okay, then I can come back once everything's full and do what I want. Not worry about it. Kind of like the silly idle games, like Clicker Heroes or those idlers, where you can just pop in occasionally. You can turn this game into that, which I appreciate. It gives me a reason to do adult stuff I don't want to do.
Yeah, I just recently broke 1,000 hours in the game, and some of those are AFK hours, but I think I'm probably pretty safe. Do you want a lizard doggo named after you?
I commemorate the first comment. It would be good.
We get the 10-second delay, so whatever we say, we're gonna have to wait. Just, I don't know if you were remembering that, Fit.
No, I recall the 10 seconds. I know the delay.
Oh yeah, you've done more streaming than I have, really.
I technically have, yes, but not.
You could say you're
really
a professional
my own
streamer.
You
get paid to do it.
I did get paid. I get taxpayer dollars to stream to YouTube. Yes, that was a neat trick. And the taxpayers liked it too. That's a whole nother weird level. They were generally appreciative of it, and it unfortunately came to them pretty cheap. I will say that is a cool thing for wherever anybody is.
Happen.
What happened? No, he gave you weapons?
Well, it gave me Nobilis, but while I was interacting with him, it just popped up.
RN Jesus be praised.
Alright, you haven't responded, but I'm gonna do it. If you say no, I'll change it later. Now, immortalized. Also, if you want to name one of the factories, we still have some factories up for naming. Rotors, the best name for a factory ever. Quickwire. You can totally
I mean,
name some of those if you want. Come up with a name for a factory, so long as it won't get me banned on YouTube or imprisoned
I
or
mean,
anything like
I
that.
say even if it does, I mean, I'm okay with that.
Well, you're not the one getting banned or imprisoned.
I mean, you're not gonna get imprisoned, but it's fine.
I mean, I don't know what. I don't know.
The
Okay.
YouTube overlords are not that powerful yet. Give them some time. Just a little bit of time. A pinch of oregano, and they'll be there.
So let's take a look. We're in phase 3.
Yeah, what are we working on for phase 3? I mean, I'm
So
not.
obviously oil is nice. We can get
Ooh,
petroleum power, which is just down the road. So oil is a really good step here. I'd love to get these Mark IV belts. We can just knock that out. I think we've got the items for that.
I will say I do really enjoy making the power plants for some reason. I don't know why, but it seems those in particular are
The
very
oil ones,
enjoyable.
yeah, I like it.
I just I liked making the coal. I enjoyed making the oil power plants. Just
We can get this
power plants. I don't know.
harmonica-looking thing and make computers and heavy modular frames and whatnots. Um, and trains. Oh no, aluminum is not in
Trains.
this one. Aluminum is phase 4.
Oh, okay. So phase 3. You got to phase 3. Well, I mean,
I think I
hopefully
think
you
one of
got
the problems
a
I have
little.
if phase 3, this is yeah, because you get oil, and I'm pretty sure it's intentional, but there's like no oil near starting bases, so you have to go
Hmm.
somewhere else, and that sort of encourages you to use trains, and then trains are the number one thing I see people asking questions about on Reddit. They're hard, and once you figure them out and you kind of get used to them, it makes some sense and you can build them. But even then, I kind of struggle with getting all the signaling right. So like these path signals are really tough. But that you can avoid the path signals and get by with just block signals, which are pretty simple. Or if you're just transporting like one item to and from a place, you can get by without even the railway signaling. I did that for a long time with just a loop. But you really only
Oh,
can do one train at a
you
time.
yeah. So you can do one train on a loop by itself.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't. I never. I thought
Um,
about it, but I'm like, no, that can't be.
you can do what people call a push pull. So push pull, you have locomotive in the front and the back of the train, and then you have one station facing one direction, one station facing the other direction, and you just kind of go back and forth between those two. So you can do that.
I mean, that's
That's
kind of weird. All right.
yeah. I would not have
I
thought that up on my own. I did a loop. So when
I
I
mean, honestly,
first played the
Minecraft does that a fair bit with some hopper paths or minecart hopper paths and whatnot. Like they bounce back and forth to distribute items evenly. But I would never have placed that together here and had that line up. That's interesting.
and Puny's gone. Goodbye, Puny.
Yeah, I mean, nice of him to stop by.
Yeah, maybe watch the rest later. I'm so
Oh,
hopeful.
yeah, yeah, I'll believe that.
All
Um,
right, I am gonna start with this jetpack mostly for the inventory slots. So I know I have motors in here.
you
Get a
you
stack of
probably have
motors.
motors in there.
I got motors in here. Um, some iron plates. So I think we can finish that off with that. And I'll have to go get some cable because I know we don't have enough for that.
Yeah. Sometimes this building stuff is difficult. just getting real unlucky with how I'm lining stuff up.
I'll have some more inventory. Whee.
Well, I feel better though. That's
And then I think I want to go for this one. Have we managed to accumulate enough random rubber? Yes, we have. Sweet.
you needed random rubber. You couldn't just use normal rubber.
You could use normal. No, I mean, we don't have rubber unlocked.
Oh, we didn't have rubber unlocked. Okay. I don't know why I'm acting like that's amazing. I'm really not surprised considering we just got refineries, but you know, that's.
Yeah. So I'm going to get the Mark IV belts because we had managed to pick up enough rubber exploring to get this. We'll do that in 4 minutes. What you got for me, Fed? How's it going down there?
It's, you know, aside from me falling off this wall, it's going on right, you know. I'm working on a foundry and getting steel production down here for the little bit of steel I need.
Did you get
Since
power
we don't
run
have
down there?
iron. Oh yeah, yeah. I walked out here with power and did
Okay.
high tension on the way down. I did think about putting in my own coal plant up here, but I didn't.
You might want
So.
to, you know, that way it's like a secret clandestine weapons factory off in the middle of nowhere, and you have your own coal plant. Nobody else can touch you.
I do like being self-sufficient. I really do. And with the name of the coal plant, it's I mean, yeah, it'd be nice to know that they're self-sufficient. Like, you know, I would feel better about that. But yeah, that's kind of all I've been up to, which is not terribly exciting. I did not map this one out, so it is going to be a bit messy, at least in the beginning. Like belt style is going to change, and I'm just going for functionality at this point in time. Which I feel like you're going to judge me for.
Oh, totally.
Okay, it's good that I know that.
All right, so that I've got enough stuff that I can unlock. Logistics Mark IV, rebuild my manifold in that one place, and upgrade the critter cruncher so that runs a little faster. There's a few places that I can upgrade once that comes in. I got 1:34. I really don't like the delay on that, but you know, I get it. It just doesn't.
Yeah.
It feels like it's long enough to be annoying at this stage. I think in phase
Not to
2 it was
mention,
just a little bit, and you could go collect some items. By the time you got the items collected for the thing you wanted, probably come back. But this one takes a little bit of time, and now I'm just bouncing around being an idiot.
I just
I'll
noticed we
take
had
the
an
time to.
alternate for steel pipes. I wasn't aware of that.
Yes, we have lots of vaults.
Mm-hmm.
So you got apparently all of the iron ingot ones. No, there's more iron ingot ones because we don't have pure, the water-based one. Maybe they don't show up until you've gotten to the phase where you can unlock them.
I mean, that could be.
Get the steel plate thing.
Ugh.
Steel rods, which the steel rods is really nice.
I didn't realize we had iron pipes. That okay.
Yeah, iron pipes is nice. We also have the iron
Iron
wire,
pipes
so
is
you can do like
wonderful.
motors
Yeah.
with only iron.
Ugh.
Anything for
Yeah.
cable? There is some cable. I think there's a quick wire version.
Well, that's changing how I'm going to be doing this. That is for certain.
I think I would do Caterium wire to cable before I would do the other cable one, maybe. I don't know. I think it's a refinery one too. I don't remember. I don't keep the stuff in my head. All right.
So I'm definitely going to do the iron pipes. I don't know. I might as well build this out to actually,
Mark
be
4.
appropriate.
Milestone reached. The transportation of resources can
And the next one I'm going for is this. So we have 100. We have 500. We have way more than 500. And we have 50. So I got enough for that one too. I'm going to go in here and upgrade my hotbar.
Improvements for personal use were not measured.
Belts. Belts and belts and belts and belts.
Belts and belts. I'm stuck on the dismantler. I think that's where I get stuck, is the dismantle button.
Have you tried not getting stuck on the dismantle button?
I did, and it's just not working.
Clearly not doing it right.
I believe that's exactly the core concept.
Did you break rule number 1?
Not yet. Give me enough time. I might. All right. Let's see. Iron pipes. What do you want? 100. Wow.
You can
okay.
make steel over there though, right?
I can, but I could also kind of deliver on this and just be done.
You
gives
don't
me
need
25.
a ton of coal for. I mean, like, as much coal's over where you are.
I mean, this is to make Nobelisks. I'm expecting 20 pipes per minute, and with the iron, I can produce 25. So that's fine, and I'm content with this. May not be the most efficient thing, but I will be content.
I think if you are eventually going to be doing this for rifles too, if you're going to try to extend to that, you will need copper.
Yes, there is copper nearby that I can.
Well, yeah, just in case you saw that there is a
tap that in.
There is a foundry recipe. Can I read you? There's a foundry recipe that will give you more copper if you use iron. Like you can use iron ore and copper, and there's another one for the opposite. I cannot get to this belt, but I don't think I need to, so I'm just not going to waste time with it. It would improve the speed of it, but not so much that
we don't have encased beams in a Mercer Depot thing, do we?
We do, but I just pulled them.
Okay.
For the next.
No, I'm gonna stick with level 3 belts down here then. It could be a little bit of throughput. It could be the level of the miner as well.
Even
I think it's
more.
If
you've got Mark II, you could power shard the things. That's what it was. You could power shard them, but you couldn't deliver them, so it wasn't really worth it. You're still limited by belt speed, so even though you could probably power shard them, you're still not going to be able to get them where you need them. I think that was your dilemma before. I don't know. I don't really remember for sure, but I think you should be able to do it now. Let's see. I missed anything. This guy. And these. So even though I'm getting the same throughput with this, I'm mostly doing this so that the end result happens faster. So it gets into the cruncher and out of the cruncher faster. So that one belt that I could get to, I'm not worried about. Okay, I have a yellow power slug in here. How do I get a yellow power slug in here? It's like it's traveling straight through the thing. I don't know how this is happening. And I got power shards in Oh, I'm clicking the wrong container. That's what happened. Oh,
Okay. Pro
I'm like,
gamer
how did
tip:
I
click
click
the
the
right
right
container.
container? Yeah, I know.
That's the kind of quality we provide here at Multius Games. Pull your head right out and make sure you're breathing fresh air, and you will see a noticeable improvement. What is this
Oil
building?
processing.
Milestone reached. Crude oil can now be extracted and refined to produce various
All right,
industrially
and
beneficial
I
products.
personally don't think it's worth
The
doing
final
oil
mix of
processing
these
until you have
processes will
petroleum
require
power.
careful management, but a capable
But
pioneer
you have to
such
do
as
some oil
Satisfactory
processing
understands
to
that.
get the rubber and
To
the
improve efficiency, pipelines can now be
plastic.
optimized
Or
to
some
So
reduce
scavenging and
yeah, but
finding the down pods,
However,
but
initially we
that's
found
a
that the
gamble.
process did not
yeah,
want to
I
overwhelm
don't think we
Um,
have enough. We
complex
have the
pipeline
rubber
management.
or the plastic,
The
but I already
extensive
used the
data
rubber,
provided
so
to my impassioned defense of your
that,
capabilities.
that's
okay,
done.
never
So
mind.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's what we got.
I'm gonna do a depot on top of the Nobelisks that I'm now producing,
I
if you don't mind.
I support this decision.
Okay, then that's good. That's good because Lockheed Martin said I had to do this, so there was kind of no choice. They said they want their bombs now. So we will have Nobelisks in the Dimensional Depot, which is it's good. It's also a great way to stay in shape. Very good.
All
It's
right.
going to be a little bit before I get much more than that going here at Lake City, but we're we're a work in progress.
So we have two fairly close possible sites to start up oil production.
I mean, if you're talking oil for um, fuel and power generation, Jesus, couldn't spit that out. That I do like the islands for that.
Yeah, it's also a little bit closer to your ammunition plant, so we could
Right,
run a train
which
a lot easier over there.
I think there's a cut through that black. Is it there?
There
Because
is,
that
but
would
you
be
have to
good.
go up quite a bit to get through. There's a bit of a.
Do trains not like going up?
Huh, that's fine. Um,
Okay, I
I don't know if
I
there's
don't
one
know.
through here, and we kind of come over that little thing, but I think it's probably easier to go this way and then come down. There's also coal up here, right? So there's additional coal.
Um, I
And
yes, there is. You're right. There is coal up
there's
there.
bauxite
Sorry.
around here for the future. I think right? That
Well, I think
something.
right where you were talking about coming in, I think that's where I had come down with and made bauxite in my first game.
Hmm,
Was in that little valley there, and then
yeah,
I had to bring it down from a high cliff though. It was not fun.
I think I can collect that now. Have some emerald. Um, thank you.
You have EM rods, really?
Yeah, got them from the
No,
doggos.
look at that.
Doggos is good.
Oh, that's helpful. So that's another thing that was nice playing multiplayer game, marking and being like, hey, this is here, so don't come here without this. You're gonna be upset.
Yep.
Unless you want me to be upset, which I think is sometimes the case. And speaking of crash sites, you did remind me there is a crash site up here, so I might have some plastic and stuff for you. I don't remember what level crash site this is.
Oh, I don't know. I
I
think
don't
what I
like
will
it.
do is be proactive and build a hypertube over there because I always go
Built a hyper
places
tube
to where I want to do the oil?
Oh. I mean, I guess yeah, you could do that.
I think I'm gonna do that. Unless the game does whatever that is.
Sheet encased beams,
It's
regular
glitching
beams.
my build mode. Can't do my build
No
mode.
plastic. How disappointing.
You would get nothing.
I mean, I got something, but it was like nothing.
Alright. I like my curved build mode. It gives me nice, elegant transitions as I move around.
Of course, you need electricity. And of course, I don't have power up on this little ledge. That figures.
Why you
I
not
will
got
say,
power up there?
I was surprised that how many places I ended up running power lines to by the end of this game. It was just everywhere.
Yeah. Well, when you get the hover pack thing and power lines become ability to fly, it just it's too easy to run them literally everywhere.
Yeah, that's fair. Really opens up the map to you. Like nothing becomes a challenge anymore. Well, I don't know if I should say that, but
Yeah, I wouldn't say nothing.
definitely makes
I think stupid green spiders still bother me.
well, okay, nothing that's platform based. Like
Oh yeah, like it unlocks
it,
the exploration completely.
if you don't like Mario platformers, the jetpack or the hover pack, whatever it's called, is it's your best friend and unlocks everything for you. Like, that's just easy mode.
Easy peasy.
So you just go right up cliff faces, just zoop.
No, zoop
And
is
yes,
a build mode.
zoop. No, zoop to go right up the cliff face. That's
a
how
build
that
mode.
works. But it's the sound you make when you go up a cliff face. I've researched this.
Oh.
It's true.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh. I did not know that. Now I have learned a thing that I don't think is
I'm
true.
sorry. Yeah. I mean, that happens sometimes. More often than not, unfortunately. Alright. Spiders. I know there was one more spider. Where did the one more spider go?
It's in your shoe, man.
Let me tell you, it could be. It very well could be. But another Mercer sphere. So that's a fine. How do you do?
Got a slug up there.
Slug up where?
I just had a stamp. Don't you worry about it.
Well,
Don't you worry about it.
fine. Whatever. I do what I want.
Alright, I've arrived at the oils. And there are critters here to greet me. Oh, do you think they'll be my friends? Or should I smack them with the stick? Oh, definitely the stick.
You just walk around smacking things with your stick. Jesus. Just very British of you.
Pretty sure I thought I had power cables over here too. Yeah, there's some up there. I have to bring them down. I thought I did that. I did do that. Just not quite far enough. We'll go here.
I was gonna say some of the other oil deposits here are the, the fracking ones, aren't they?
Yep. I don't have enough motors.
Hey, you should have brought more motors with you.
Oh, I got the stuff to build motors, I think, somewhere.
Okay, so I'm gonna head out to you, but I'm not gonna come to you. Because we were talking about that path, and it was up this way. So I figured I would walk the path and try and get it mapped. Apparently, it didn't map part of it.
How many motors can I make? Enough. Alright, I'm going to clear my to-do list because I'm not doing this right now.
Yeah, you're not doing
Oh,
that
you
stuff right
automated
now.
explosives.
You can
You
blow
did.
everything up.
And I can mark off
Yeah.
automate explosives.
Oh, I didn't know I did not. I completed a thing.
You completed a thing.
That's minorly exciting.
Congratulations. What's that like?
I'll let you know if I figure that out.
Okay, I'm going to start with one oil extractor. So I need just a few motors. That way I
I'm
can
gonna
get these things built, and then just do the refineries to get the 200 rubber, 200 plastic over here.
Yeah. As I was gonna say, you can then just flip flop those, produce that amount, and then just move on. But that's gonna do your heavy oil residue anyway, which you want for making turbo fuel, right?
For fuel, yeah.
Oh, for fuel. I'm sorry.
Fuel. Turbo fuel, you'll need compacted coal, I think.
Oh, yeah.
You need sulfur. Pretty sure you need sulfur. Now let's see, refineries. Need at least 2 of those. So we're gonna need 20 more motors.
All right, so I'm all the way down here for the path that comes over, so I don't know if coming down this far is worth it.
Oh, you're
for
trying
the train. I just wanted to map it out and walk it because I figured it'll reveal that half and give us a benchmark. And then I can kill some things in the woods and then get you some tickets.
Coupons. Got to get coupons.
Yeah. All the coupons.
So
but, yeah.
Yeah, we I think we underplanned for this
Well,
one, so we're a little ahead. We didn't upgrade the power. We haven't done that, but that was the bonus.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing to speak of in the way of a factory over here yet. It's really just a handful of machines making the explosives right now. So that's not even exciting.
I'd like to come over before we close this up and actually take a look at what you did.
You don't. It's
gonna do it. Unless you just
so I'm flying over it now, and it is bad.
Want to reveal for next time? I don't know.
Ugh, no.
So
I mean, I gave.
What are we doing on
space.
stream? What are we doing off stream? Because there's a lot to do. Probably we can work through all of the upgrades. I don't know if building a train on stream is that great because they take a little while, and I don't think that's very interesting. But maybe building the power out is. I don't know.
Oh, I mean, maybe we had talked about blueprints. Maybe getting the blueprints set would be worthwhile. This way, that's that you can do it. Like, I've never done blueprints, not something I've done, so I would learn something, which might be useless.
So I'm going to set up.
But that might be.
This is one of the things that I think is hard to find. If you right-click on a swatch,
Mm-hmm.
I can select pipes, and now everything that I'm building under the pipe section is going to be that color. And I find that that works really well when you're doing anything with pipes, because pipes are kind of tough. Also, straight pipes are awesome. Love that they did that. Everything looks so clean with that. But now I don't have to worry about what's flowing in those. I can just
Glance over at it and know
just
that
take a look
yeah,
and know
black
what I've got.
pipes have crude oil in them.
Yep.
Yeah,
let's
I've
see,
done
so
that on some other. I don't mind the straight pipes, but I don't mind the pipes with just the decorative thing on it, not the animated
the
one. Is it reinforced
clean
pipes or
pipe.
something?
You like the regular pipe? That one?
No, there's.
Oh, Mark
I
II
thought there
pipes.
was a.
You're
Maybe it
thinking of
was Mark II
pipes.
pipes.
I like the Mark II pipes.
Yep. Yeah, maybe it was Mark II.
These are good for decorating, though. I agree. Like these look really good when you're building something, just to make it look good. All right, so we got power, and we got plastics. What we're gonna do with all this oil? But I am gonna set up a couple of storage containers here.
Are you gonna leave those producing?
I mean,
the
they're
rubber
not
and-
they're not gonna do anything until we can either sink the output or burn the fuel. So they'll do
And we
a
can't
little
make
bit.
we can't package our fuel yet, right? That's another
No,
research.
that's the next one.
Yeah.
Right, so we've got rubber, but then this will fill up. So when this hits 50, it'll stop. So and
I
you
mean,
can't flush
you could pipe it up.
You gotta
Well,
pipe
you
it
could flush
somewhere.
it. Well, you could pipe it to a container and flush the container, but then you'd have to go over and flush the container, and you don't like manual things.
No, that just feels wrong.
Labor, least of all.
Yeah, I don't have any problem with Manuel Labor. He's a nice guy.
Racist. My goodness. My goodness.
No, I was mispronouncing manual labor.
I know.
I don't know. I don't think you know.
I did. This wasn't great.
Sorry. Is that my best joke?
No,
Am I missing
definitely not your best joke.
materials? How am I missing materials?
Because you're missing materials, my guy.
Oh,
you don't
because I
have what you
forgot
need.
to. Actually, I meant to destroy those because I wanted to build them over here.
Well, I was gonna say the feng shui of that is much better. It's very important.
And I'm gonna bring this out a little more.
So I will say I've noticed I'm more of the patient builder, where once I get something up and working, like this is churning out maybe 10 noblisks a minute.
I built them backwards.
You can't have nice things. But I've noticed I'm more of a patient builder, where hey, this is pushing out 10 nobelisks a minute. I'm not using 10 nobelisks a minute, so this is fine. For me to be using 10 nobelisks in a minute is going to be it's a lot.
Yeah, there's different ways to be efficient in terms of like what does efficiency even mean? I don't like that. And one of them could be time.
Look at throughput.
Yeah, one could be throughput, but you could also think about power, right? How much power am I consuming in order to generate these things? I've seen people talking about it, but I don't think it's like a primary focus, mostly because you can just overpower. You can win through
sheer dominance of generation,
uh,
since there's no real cap on us generating power in this game. Once you build and have enough power, there's nothing stopping you from maintaining that.
Line this up. Right, and you can definitely beat the game with the amount of power that you can get. So I just don't feel like it's
I did look on the world where I did beat the game, and I was only producing 33,000 megawatts of power, which I don't know. What are we producing now?
I saw someone on Reddit recently got a terawatt of power.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. I think that was their. I mean, they were just doing it to do it, and I don't know how efficient it is, but yeah,
No, it's
possible.
that's a fair
kinda
bit
cool.
of power.
Yeah, they were also using so when 1.0 came out, if you were playing in early access, the summer sloops, they changed the locations, I think, of things, and so your summer sloops and mostly I think it's just the summer sloops, relocated. They went to another, like they put them in different places apparently or something, but they reset the count so you could get twice as many, and then they had extras. So I mean, is that cheating?
I
I don't know.
remember when we were playing, we did find the bug where the crash sites were respawning, which was entertaining. Definitely cheating, but it was entertaining.
Yep. Hey,
So at the NAM, I'm looking at alternate charcoal and biocoal, and they both look terrible.
can you re-roll?
Oh yes, yes I can. I just want to confirm that's what I'm doing. So now we have plastic smart plating, which rotor smart plating and plastic for the smart plating material, or a silicon circuit board, which I kind of like, where it's just a copper sheet and some silica
I
to
think
make
that's pretty
the
good.
circuit board.
Of the options you have, at least, that's probably as good as you're gonna get right now.
I've built with that one before, and I did like it. I did think it was a good pattern. Oh yeah, there's still one hard drive left. I might Well, I want to check.
The only other thing you could get is turbo fuel. I think you can unlock turbo fuel, but we need to get fuel first. So packaged fuel, indeed.
Yes, I was looking for the cluster Nobelisk, but I need to unlock smokeless powder for which if I had 50 plastic, I could do, and I do have access to 50 plastic, so I'm going
so I don't have to
that.
drop that in.
Nope, you do not.
I'm just trying to get up to 200 over here. Do we have enough SAM fluctuators in there to do 2 of these? No. One.
Yeah.
Let's see what I can make.
Research completed. Smokeless powder recipe.
We're coming up on 9, and I'm definitely going to have to go on the dot this time. Yeah, we don't have anything to make them. We're running low. I'll have to go all the way back. So that'll be next time I can put these in the depot.
Yeah. Rifle, we're pretty close to unlocking. Well, I say we're pretty close, but I need smokeless powder, which is going to be the next hurdle to get both the things that I want to unlock. But I'll be able to once we have oil out here. I think we'll be able to have rifles and cluster Nobelisks without much of a struggle. Put this last hard drive to scanning. So that'll be nice. We'll have to figure out where to put your railroad so it attaches and goes smoothly over here. Let me ask you this question. We have the steel roll-up doors, right?
I used one somewhere.
Yeah. What can you do? The monorail underneath of one of those doors,
I think
and have a train open the doors as it comes near it.
Don't know if the train will open the doors. Is worth looking at. I don't know if it will. I know players open them, but I don't know if vehicles can. I mean, that would be sensible because you could run even like trucks, right?
Yeah,
you might
so I
want to
mean,
run
that
through
I
there.
think
So.
that I think would look kind of cool to have a train come into a factory for a delivery. That'd be kind of neat. You know, in my simplistic views of things. Oh, do we fill up? Oh, look at us, our Noblisk thing is full in the depot already. So
Oh yeah, and I
I'm
already
gonna
took a
take.
stack. So
I just took a stack, but I had a little bit.
let's see what I got. I'm gonna steal this rubber. I think the last thing I'm gonna do here. There's plastic. Did you? Unless you took it all.
No,
Yeah.
I did not. I think no, and I'm
So I
putting
only need
back
the
what I
200,
did
so I'm
take.
gonna put that back in here, and then I've got enough. Oh no, I don't have the motors.
Oh, he doesn't have the motors.
Don't have the
Can I help
motors.
you?
Got turbo motors for some reason.
Well, I mean, turbo motors are important. They're turbo.
I got enough to build them, but I'm not gonna do that live. So that'll be
I was gonna say I have some as
how I
well,
end
but
it. I'm gonna head back over,
which, I mean,
and
it's
yeah,
something.
I think this was fun.
Biggest accomplishment of the stream. We got a comment. Good
Yay! We
start.
got a comment and named a lizard doggo.
Yeah, that's true. I did. We were talking before we started the stream, and one of the things we might want to aesthetically do is maybe a Velociraptor pen for the lizard doggos.
Yeah, I like the Velociraptor pen.
A little Jurassic Park here.
So we've got the chain link unlocked as well. So we got these guys.
Oh, okay. I don't know if I've noticed the chain link. There was one with tarp or something that looked similar.
Yeah, there's this one with the tarp and that one with the chain link or cyclone or whatever you call it. People call that stuff different things. So you could do that. I think you could build something really nice. And these guys are definitely ferocious enough.
I mean, I think that would just be entertaining as all get out.
Thank you, Puny. This looks like as good of a place as any to log off. Puny has brought me high-speed connectors.
Hey,
and
listen,
comments.
that's nice of them. Comments on high-speed connectors. That's
I
good
know.
mid-game items. Mid-game
I
things.
know.
I like it.
Okay,
Right,
so I guess next time it's going to
end it.
be. Hopefully, we get to unlock trains, build out some fuel power, and get
some blueprints for the train rails, maybe.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to be itching for oil by that point, I'm sure.
All right.
I'm already itching for oil out here. All right.
I'm going to start chopping out some motors.
End it.
See ya.
Kill it, sir. Kill it. Later.
Bye.